Gotta pull the rope. And also flip the lever. And now we can get hydraulic flow. Tether down. Touchdown. And for this outside round, we're gonna get off and swing the wheels so we don't throw it out here in these people's lovely yard. So yes, this video isn't so much about the tedding. I'm still borrowing this tedder, it's great. But this is less about the tedding and more about, we'll say, the characteristics of my haymaking. Now I'm hoping that tire is just sitting in a hole. This field is generally flat because it was mowed like a lawn, and it's smooth all right. I can fly over this. It is delightful. We're gonna pick a gear. I've never tedded with the 29 before. We don't know with the 66 just because I thought we needed hydraulics when we borrowed this the first time. All that good spinny action. No, that's way too slow. Let's try 5th gear. That's not bad. That's a pretty good speed. We're taking it in and throwing it out as long as I watch where I'm driving. So this video isn't so much about the tedding. Not at all. We just happen to be doing it. So who here has watched the movie Moneyball and remembers seeing Brad Pitt, he was general manager or something, or a coach of the Oakland Athletics. And you know what the Oakland Athletics did? They played small ball. They went out and got not high dollar players, played them strategically, we'll say, and they didn't spend a lot of money. Now they didn't win the pennant that year, but they got really far and they didn't spend a whole lot of money doing it. They ended up gutting themselves in the off season, which that's just how baseball works. So this isn't all baseball here. However, the comparison works out for the fact that we got classic tractors, small hay fields, and you know what? We're not breaking the bank. Sure, I could go find a big hay field, pay a lot in rent, and then really be like up a hole when it rains because I need to sell every bit of hay to pay for all that stuff. So, I know a lot of folks, I don't know about a lot, a few, probably mostly the teeny boppers who have seen too many big money daddy channels where they got all this new shiny stuff. Well, guess what? Farming's not all John Deere's, and not every farmer is out there making big bucks off of YouTube to pay for their farming operation. I do the YouTube just for the joy when I grow old I'll be able to look back at all this and not have to drive a tractor every day. I can just watch videos. So say the younger generation doesn't have to worry about me, I don't know, falling off the tractor or doing something crazy because I'm old. Okay, we're straightened out. Now let's figure out what we're doing, which way we're going to ted this. Yeah, I know, this thing does not like turns. pull the rope, we can just hit the lever, lift it up, shut off the PTO, and just like that, we are done. We're gonna need a few RPM, it looks like, to tilt it. And we're on the road. So this was a quick, fun little explanation video. Hopefully make a few of you understand that, you know, farming's not all shiny new paint. Now this is shiny, but I'm borrowing it. Yes. As Dad said, he had to beg, borrow, and steal any piece of junk he could when he got started. And at least I've made a few friends out here that'll let me borrow their shiny, less old paint. So we're gonna get back to Ted, and we're gonna hopefully be bailing later. I'm gonna make a video, hopefully, of the new edition that I, you know, am not borrowing, that I actually bought. But it's old and rusty, as usual. And guess what? Whatever animal eats the hay is gonna have no clue what made it. Unless maybe the machine fell apart and left pieces in the hay. That could be a problem. So we'll catch you guys later with more fun farming adventures.